America has a funny history with music. I guess funny maybe isn't exactly the right word, but heck, a broken clock is right 2 times a day, so at times, America's music history is funny. If you speed up video footage, pretty much anything is funny, but that's not really the direction I want to take this medicine show. Medicine shows were the first form of multimedia mass communications in America. Morse code didn't really catch on like Twitter, and YouTube hadn't been invented yet, so 19th century entertainers had to hit the road. Before traveling shows, American music was isolated in little pockets. Puritans and fishermen in the Northeast, Quakers and Amish in Pennsylvania, Appalachian fiddle music in Appalachia, Western music in the West,
nobody knows,
and slave songs in the South.
the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.
For many small towns in rural America, the traveling medicine show was the only form of outside entertainment. Religious songs covered a lot of ground through hymn books and traveling preachers, but a lot of the not-so-religious songs never really made it into the books, so they never made it out of the holler. Traveling shows changed all of that. The traveling show didn't come up with new routines, jokes, and songs for each town either. They pretty much played the same show to everyone, night after night. For the first time in our nation's history, everyone in the country could listen to the same songs and laugh at the same jokes. Medicine shows are literally where the "why did the chicken cross the road" joke originated. This was a big deal. It brought homogeneity to a heterogeneous population, which is a fancy way of saying sameness to differentness, which is a clumsy way of saying it brought different people together. It made hetero people homo. Wait. The idea behind an old medicine show was to sell crap to suckers by wearing them down with product pitches stuffed inside of free entertainment. Like a turducken. The medicine show was also about entertaining the folks, but they paid the bill selling elixir. Which is why we're going to jump into our first commercial break of the show, a pitch from Doc Itchy about his Mississippi moonshine guaranteed to cure your itchy feet. Thanks, Doc. Medicine shows like this were not a unique invention of Americans. They were a knockoff of mountebank shows that roamed Europe. Gypsy jazz, bearded ladies, acrobats, stupid dog tricks, you know the deal. But charlatans were not our only import from Europe. We also imported slavery and European views of white supremacy. From the first days of this country, America was steeped in racism. After invading their land, we accepted help from the local brown people, and then we began systematically slaughtering them in retaliation for their goodwill. After solving the initial Indian problem, we set out to build a proper country, using black people to do most of the work. Just because Winston Churchill wasn't born yet, and didn't say it yet, doesn't mean it wasn't true, even before he noticed it. We had some bouts with sanity and compassion, like in 1839 when the prisoners aboard l'Amistad took control of the ship and sailed it to New Haven, Connecticut. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the prisoners were being held illegally as slaves and must therefore be set free. I don't know if this is the first time America deported dark-skinned people, but it was likely one of the last times the deportation was so welcome. Just because the Atlantic slave trade was halted and the case of l'Amistad ended favorably for the African passengers, it didn't mean we were woke by any stretch of the imagination. We still had a civil war to fight, a president to kill, and a fascist to elect, right? After the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution passed, which some people call the Citizenship Amendment,
these aren't people,
and other people want to repeal,
these are animals.
Americans had a new enemy to fear, hate, and kneecap: newly freed Americans. No more did they have to focus on the same old Indian problem. Now they had a shiny new African American problem. But that's not what they called it. So America continued its game of racist Groundhog Day, ebbing and flowing like the big river winding from Minneapolis through Memphis to Nolens. Ebbs of sanity and humanity, punished by flows of Native American and African American blood. Fast forwarding to the 21st century, it seemed like America was moving to a post-racial society, at least to us do-gooder white people after re-electing President Obama, in spite of Trump's birther bloviating. We thought we beat the birther, but actually, he was laying the groundwork for a future campaign of hate. And when the bloviator ran for president on that platform of hate and division, a funny thing happened on the way to the KKK rally. They started leaving their hoods in the truck. Americans are trotting their hate down Main Street. Faces of racism on parade, loud, proud, and sometimes crying. Worse, other Americans acted as if they were good people on both sides of the Nazi question.
I'm a redneck. I'm a beer drinker. I'm a redneck. Slow thinker. I'm a redneck. I'm a goat roper. I'm a redneck. Not a dope smoker. I'm a bow castrator and I eat 'em with my taters. I'm a redneck. I'm a redneck. I'm a pussy grabber. I'm a redneck. 'Cause I just wanna have her. I'm a redneck.
It's a legitimate rape. The female body
In the
has
halls
ways
of
to try to shut
Congress,
that whole
I'm
thing
a
down.
redneck.
When you're a star, they let you do it.
In the Oval Office,
You can do anything.
The rape ain't recorded if she don't report it, sir.
I'm a redneck.
The events never happened. Never.
And the people of this country at a decisive election supported President Trump.
It's a total setup.
And we feel like these allegations have been answered through that process.
I'm a redneck. I'm a goddamn Christian, and I bend that Bible to my hypocrite. I'm a redneck. I'm a rainbow hater. Pray the gay away. I am a gender segregator.
It's not a transgender issue. It's not about discrimination. It's about protecting women. If laws are passed
I'm
that
a
allow
redneck.
men to go into a bathroom because of the way they feel, we will not be able to stop sexual
I
predators
moved in her like a
from
bitch.
taking advantage of that law like sexual predators.
Grab him by the
I'm a
pussy.
redneck.
Grab him by the pussy.
When you looked at that horrible woman,
These truths are self-evident. All people are created equal.
She would not be my first
People are born into this world innocent, good, and free.
would not be my first choice.
No person is your rape slave. No person is illegal. No person is born with hate in their heart.
Display of hatred, bigotry,
Hate
and
is
violence on
infected
many
into
sides.
them. This orange monkey is melting our melting pot to make bullets,
On many sides.
while revealing that the true colors of the chest-thumping flag wavers is not red, white, and blue, but white only. I'm a redneck. I'm a chump believer. I'm a redneck, and I ain't no racist neither. I'm a redneck. I'm a rebel flag waver. I'm a redneck. 'Cause I like treason with my traitors. I love Putin and his comments 'cause I hate Obama. I'm a redneck.
he was born in Kenya, you know.
I'm a redneck.
I'm terrified. I'm afraid you're going to kill me. I really am. All right.
I'm a redneck.
So, if I got to go to jail tonight,
I'm a redneck.
I didn't want to. I don't think I should.
I'm a redneck.
I think I honestly believe that I've been
I'm a redneck.
law-abiding.
I'm a redneck.
When did it occur to you that a shithole with a golden toilet
I'm a redneck.
doesn't care who it shits on?
I'm a redneck.
Was it the golden toilet?
I feel it's the last chance we have to preserve the culture.
Racism is bedrock in the American landscape. Native American and African American blood are major elements in our soil. Unfortunately, racism's also baked into many of the systems, processes, and institutions. Gerrymandering targets the votes of Native Americans and African Americans. It's been going on for decades, and in a recent election, an entire nation in North Dakota was eliminated from voting, which secured the election for another taker. Housing policy has kept home ownership just out of reach of many non-white Americans for decades. Decades of decades, stripping the biggest wealth-building opportunity from millions of American families. The silent thumb of racism is the dirty little secret of the invisible hand of economics. The invisible hand describes the unintended social benefits of an individual's self-interested actions, and its racist thumb has been tipping the scales in favor of white people since there was an America.
There's a thin blue line between death and life when your taillight's broke and your skin ain't white.
We got pulled over for a busted taillight in the back. Police just killed my boyfriend.
That line can define what's order and crime, but the crime wasn't even real for Philando Castile.
Yeah, and he let the officer know he had a firearm and he was reaching for his wallet. And the officer just shot him in his